will be the panel discussion, and there is also a change in the schedule after this. Some of the students were eagerly waiting to have the competitions. It will be notified to you. I think the organizing team will let you know how the schedule is going to be there. So the topic for the second panel discussion, a much needed one, is experiential tourism from the entrepreneurship mindset. So this is the topic that we're going to discuss here. So experiential tourism from the entrepreneurial mindset. And we have with us as Devansh introduced, Mr. Suyash Kare, Mr. Samir Mathur, Mr. Ladan Lang Taising, Professor Shailendra Kumar Varma. I think sir is yet to join. So sir is Professor Shailendra Kumar Varma from Department of Management of Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Awadh University. And we have Ms. Harshita Srivatsava, who is the student representative. So let's begin with this topic. Now, experiential tourism implies active and meaningful engagement with destinations, culture, people, environment to create unique experiences. Now, I must say that this statement is a little radical because I feel all tourism, in fact, all of us will agree with this, all tourism must be experiential in nature, right? Tourists must have immersive travel experiences. They must indulge in whatever kind of tourism they do. And we have to engage tourism. It cannot be classified as a tourism such as a MICE tourism or religious tourism. We cannot have experiential tourism as a separate classification. So therefore, all kind of tourism has to be experiential in nature, and tourists must have to be indulged and experienced. And connecting with entrepreneurship, which is the need of the hour right now. So I think this is the right time for people to get into entrepreneurship. There is growth of industry post-COVID, and our industry partners will also agree with this. So post-COVID has been phenomenal growth, especially in the domestic sector. So entrepreneurship mindset has to be created, illuminated, and nurtured. This is what has to be done. So let me start off with Mr. Suyash, who is the entrepreneur himself, who is the first generation entrepreneur. Can you tell us, Suyash sir, the role of small first generation entrepreneurs in creating small niche tourism experiences? How can tourists, you as an entrepreneur, create small niche tourism experiences to start off with?
So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for the question, sir. Regarding your question, I would like to say that entrepreneurs like me, I've started just a few years ago, not a very long time. And I started when I was a student myself. So, it was my first day of MBA, and that was my first day of the journey of my entrepreneurship. So, I can share my experiences with you, which I think will help you, the students present here. Being a small entrepreneur, being and working for a niche category, it actually helps you grow. It actually helps you expand your thought process. And how you can do that is by first of all recognizing what is your strength. You should always know in which field you are good in, and what you can do to enhance that skill of yours. So for me, like I had a very good knowledge of history and heritage. So I started with heritage tourism, which is again a part of experiential tourism. So by this, that I defined my niche as heritage, and gradually I expanded my area, my scope, and went into adventure tourism as well. But that's a different story. So regarding the niche, the heritage, what I did was I started doing heritage walks. So being a student, you guys, what you can do is you can start with anything that you're good in, and you should identify that what is your strength. Also, once you identify it, you should start developing it. You should start working on it as hard as you can. You should not since niche is something which won't give you immediate success in just the first few days or the first few months. Niche is something which you have to develop gradually. It takes a long time. So it has been almost 5 years for me that I'm doing this, but still I'm in the growing stage. I would like to say here that let it take time. Do not let it disappoint you. You should just keep on working.
Yes, that's a right way to put it. In fact, even when I was coming, Dr. Naidu was sharing with me one of their students' experience who started they were a group of students who started a small company known as Friends Travels. So what these students used to nicely do is a couple of they used to take school students, go approach schools, ask the school teachers what is taught in your social science subjects. So let's say the teacher says we have a Red Fort or India Gate taught in our subject, and they take the students class of 5 to the Red Fort, to the India Gate. So that's how we can actually start off with. Let me now move on to Mr. Samir Mathur, who is working for DMC for Dubai. Sir, could you tell us what are the efforts made to source travel products from local suppliers or tour operators to create packages and sell to travelers directly, whether it is via OTAs or by small entrepreneurs? What could we do to source travel products locally? Yes, sir. My question is, could you share from a destination management DMC perspective the efforts made to source travel products from local suppliers and create packages? So, and whereas it could be useful for entrepreneurs to sell it via OTAs or individually directly.
First, we need to understand what is that the experiential tourism. And if you talk about the stakeholders of the experiential tourism, they are the different stakeholders, means that the people are involved in this tourism. First of all, the local tour operators are involved, of course. If we want to develop any of the product, we have to contact to the local people. Second one is that the tour guides. If we want to make the product, we have to identify that the tour operator who can make the product, who can look after that land arrangements and that you can say the logistics part. And the second one, the second shareholder would be that the tour guides or the storyteller. We can say that. The third one, we already talked about that local community or the local people, which we can talk about and we can create the product. Fourth one is again we cannot skip that point. The social media that is that again a point. We can create a product. I want to give one example that many of the people are from the Lucknow University here. So Lucknow is very much famous for their cuisine. If they want to make some unique experience, because experiential tourism is not that conventional tours. It's a unique tours and it's limited to certain points. So the Lucknow people want to make some that, for example, they want to make some product. For example, culinary tools for that the cuisines of Nawabs. In the olden days, it calls that cuisines of Diwane Khas. So we can make the product, we can make the tour of one day, so that we can arrange that the tour operator arrange that the local support, the local logistics, and the storyteller that guides take to that person to that particular place. The community, the local community or the local people, the khansamas or the chefs prepare that in front of the guest. The guest have that feel of that the ingredients or that they can taste, they can touch, they can know how they can cook that the particular meals, and they can have the meals there also. And promotion, definitely we can promote on that in this generation. We can promote on that the online is that the best platforms we can promote. Thank you.
So it is possible. It is possible that we can reach out to local vendors, we can reach out to local suppliers, create smaller tourism products and sell it. Now, to my counterpart, Mr. Lang, can you tell us, sir, we from our faculty perspective, what do we do as roles for mentoring entrepreneurship? What are the faculty initiatives that are required? Are we developing a problem-solving mindset amongst the students? Are we developing innovation? Are we developing creativity? How do we develop this customer centricity for the students?
Thank you, Prashant, for the question. Coming from the northeastern part of India, where people actually they have that mindset where they feel like only government job is the right job, where the other part of job, the other type of job, they don't consider as employment. So coming from that, it shows that we, as the academician, we need to induce the concept of entrepreneurship into the students so that they'll be able to think and to come up with some ideas, because we believe that our generation, our youngsters nowadays, they have so many ideas, they have so many innovative, they are very creative. So it's just that we need to guide them of how to come up with a proper kind of a package where they can sell those products to the right customers.
Especially with Northeast having so much of potential for tourism, I think it's important that they have this mindset.
Yes.
To the most important stakeholder of our event, Ms. Harshita, first question is, do you think that your tourism education that you are learning, is it fostering an entrepreneurship mindset?
Good evening, everyone
Yes.
present here on stage, and good evening to everyone. Thank you, sir, for this question. Actually, sir, my answer would be in favor of a no, because what is happening right now is that we are still dwelling on those syllabus that is means coming from, like, it is like monotonous form. Like, we are reading all kind of things. Academics is important, no doubt, but the practicality is the utmost importance of today's world, and that we need to develop. And for entrepreneurship, what is the foremost and the basic thing that is required, that is idea creation. And idea creation, so our syllabus, our curriculum should be in such a manner that it should push us further into it, to create some kind of ideas, have that kind of means mindset from the very beginning, so that when we means complete our this academic journey, so we can build our own empires. Like, means entrepreneurship is all about this, and tourism is a booming industry nowadays. So what I believe is what happens, we dwell on internships, we seek jobs. What I believe is that creating our own space in this industry, and not only just being a job doers, I would be like more focused on being a job creator in that way. So this is what I think, and thank you for having me, sir.
So there's the answer. We have failed, is what the student says. So I think it's important we introspect so much and we reshape the entire system of creating entrepreneurs. To Mr. Suyash again, I'll come back to you. Sir, can you tell us what could be the other alternative sources of income for entrepreneurs, for baby entrepreneurs to start off with? Can they have income from non-tourism directly customer sources? Could it be via vlogging, or could it be via content creation? For especially graduates of tourism, we are there who have studied tourism, other non-tourism direct sources of revenue.
Okay, so sir, as you said, there can be other sources, and that's absolutely true. And this is what I also did when I started my journey. So apart from trying to run my own company in the beginning, I needed a stable source of income, because you cannot just rely on something that you have just begun, that is your baby just now. So what I did was, I used to work as a content writer for a Thailand-based company. I used to write content for their website. What as students you can do is go and look for jobs which you can do from home itself, which won't take much of your time, so that you can give time to your entrepreneurship also, but something that will give you a stable income, something that will keep your pockets running, something that will not have you asking for money from your friends or your family by the end of the month. So you should always, it's just an advice, it's not a golden rule that you all have to follow. But in my opinion, you should always have something, secondary source of income, or something, hobby which you can convert into something, which you can convert into a thing that will earn you money. So when I was working as a content writer for that company, I used to write that content at night. I used to begin at 9 p.m. in the night, and I used to do it till 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. in the morning, because in the day I was working on creating my own company, on building my team, and on creating new experiences for people. So it's a struggle for new entrepreneurs, for small entrepreneurs. But I will say that it's a struggle for a few years by max, and after that, once you get successful, focus on your own business, focus on your own company, and then no one will be able to stop you. Thank you.
Samir sir, would you like to add on some other sources of revenue for baby entrepreneurs other than directly tourism?
हमने ऑलरेडी बात करी है कुछ स्किल्स डेवलप करने के लिए। स्टूडेंट्स को बोलना चाहूँगा जो टूरिज़्म से रिलेटेड हैं, आजकल कंसेप्ट है ड्रोन फोटोग्राफी का। अगर मैं बात करूँ तो ड्रोन
Drone
फोटोग्राफी
photography. Yes.
और ड्रोन वीडियोग्राफी यू कैन से दैट। ये कंसेप्ट है, ये अपकमिंग है, बहुत ज़्यादा बोल सकते हैं कि ट्रेंड में है। सोशल मीडिया पे जितना ज़्यादा आप एक्टिव रहेंगे, सोशल मीडिया पे जितना ज़्यादा आप कंटेंट अच्छा बना पाएंगे। आप देखते हैं आजकल लाइफ बहुत फास्ट है, नोबडी हैज़ द टाइम। तो कंटेंट्स आप देखते हैं ब्लॉगर्स, अलग अलग ब्लॉगर, फूड ब्लॉगर्स हैं आपके, ट्रैवल ब्लॉगर्स हैं आपके। किसी भी प्रोडक्ट को, किसी भी छोटे से छोटे वेंडर को, किसी भी शॉपकीपर को बहुत फेमस बना सकते हैं। मैं बात करता हूँ, अगर टूरिज़्म से रिलेटेड बात करूँ तो बहुत सारे अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट्स हो सकते हैं। मैंने एक एग्जांपल तो ड्रोन फोटोग्राफी का आपको दिया है। आप स्किल्स डेवलप कर सकते हैं। लैंग्वेज डेफिनेटली, आप एक लैंग्वेज का एक डेफिनेटली एक एज मिलता है आपको। अगर आप, जैसे अगर मैं दुबई की बात करता हूँ, आई एम एक्टिंग लाइक DMC टू दुबई, तो अगर आप अरेबिक लैंग्वेज सीखते हैं तो आप बेटर कैटर कर सकते हैं अरेबिक क्लाइंट्स को, वहाँ के लोकल पीपल को, वहाँ का कल्चर समझ सकते हैं। अगर आपको लैंग्वेज आती है, बीट कोई भी कंट्री हो सकती है, अगर आप उस कंट्री की लैंग्वेज जानते हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं वो बेटर कनेक्ट कर सकता है। आपने देखा होगा फॉरेनर्स जब भी इंडिया आते हैं तो कुछ वर्ड्स सीख के आते हैं, कुछ लिख के आते हैं। कहीं जाते हैं तो वही पर्टिकुलर हमको कम्यूट करना है तो वो कुछ लिख के आते हैं। तो कुछ ऐसी स्किल्स हमको डेवलप करना पड़ेगी, सॉफ्ट स्किल भी हो सकती है और वो ट्रेडिशनल स्किल्स भी हो सकती हैं। दैट सम थिंग्स वी कैन ऐड ऑन। थैंक यू।
Definitely, sir. Thank you. To again, Mr. Ladunlang, sir, what should we do? Development of faculty is also important for development of students. So we must be updated. We must be challenging. So development of faculty we have to relearn. We have to develop and up skills to match our students. So how do we remain updated? How do we remain in tune with the mindset of the students?
Thank you for a question. So I will like to cite an example of what we did in the university. So in our university, in MSU, so we have a center, we call it the Center for Innovation and Incubation of Startup. So through the center, we have a tie-up with the government of Meghalaya. So we call it a prime. So this center and the government of Meghalaya is working side by side to help the people who have those ideas. We look for ideas, we look for creativities on the students. So if the students, they have such ideas, they have such innovative ideas where we can convert those ideas into a product or into a package or into something that can be sold out to the customers. So the government is helping them to give a schemes. So recently, one of our students, so he have a very insightful ideas, which the governments also like such ideas, and the government is actually helping him by providing a schemes of 20 lakhs to start up whatever that ideas that he's projecting. So through this, I think that we can able to encourage the youngsters to actually to come up with ideas and come up with also to learn about the entrepreneurship skills and mindset in the classroom, and at the same time, this side by side we can work with the centers so that we can able to overcome in the future.
Certainly. Harshita, you are from BHU and a very reputed institution. You have come here and you're boldly speaking as well. So how do you network? How do you network amongst your age group in this trend of technology that is there? How do you get connected with other institutions across and how do you develop a rapport amongst them? Can you tell us how can you network and build up relationships from now itself, professional relationships?
Actually, we have a group of alumni, so we have a great network with them. And if I talk about my personal experience, so I'm in the placement cell as well. So I build up that kind of thing, like means we go into talking terms we invite them, we try to invite them, and so that they can give us the practicality of how the things work in actuality and how they have built up their empires. So this is what how we do the networking also, and this is how we are gaining means that kind of experience from them also. So this is how we are doing it right now.
Certainly. And one important platform that all of us must also follow is LinkedIn, which is very important for us, especially those who are in their masters, MBA, MTTM, even their final year of graduation. Kindly connect, create a profile on LinkedIn. How many of you have a profile on LinkedIn? Can you raise your hand? Oh, amazing. Yes. How many of you are active? You connect amongst those who have raised your hands. That's good. That's great to see. Yes. समीर सर, आपसे मेरी क्वेश्चन है कि how do we motivate and tackle failures? You have seen across your journey in this industry that a lot of industries would have come in, they would have had a very bad tenure during COVID, especially they would have closed down. क्या कर सकते हैं? How do we be motivated? What do we do to have a strong mindset, especially for the young generation?
कोविड टाइम तो सही बात है कि सबने बड़ा बेकार टाइम देखा है, बहुत सी कंपनीज बंद हो चुकी है उसमें। यंग जनरेशन को यही बोलूँगा कि नॉलेज तो अपना अपडेट, नॉलेज तो आपको हमेशा कंटिन्यूस लेना ही चाहिए, लेते ही रहना चाहिए। हम भी आज भी सीख रहे हैं और आज आगे भी सीखते ही रहेंगे। सर ने कहा था जैसे कि टूरिज़्म ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है वो कभी ख़त्म नहीं हो सकता, हम डेली बेसिस पे सीखते हैं। आप स्टूडेंट से भी हम लोग सीखते हैं, हम तो आप लोग को बताते ही हैं, लेकिन स्टूडेंट से भी हम डेली बेसिस पे सीखते हैं। अगर चैलेंजेस की बात करूं तो मैं बताना चाहूँगा, मैंने अपनी कंपनी 21 में स्टार्ट करा था, जब कोरोना ऑलरेडी चल रहा था। तो एडवर्स जब सिचुएशन थी जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया था, बट ग्रेजुअली आपके कनेक्शंस बने, आपने इंडस्ट्री में इतना साल काम किया था, 15 to 16 ईयर्स, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो नॉलेज, वो कहीं ना कहीं जो आपका एक्सपीरियंस था वो काउंट हुआ। लेकिन यंग जनरेशन की अगर बात करें तो वो जैसा मैंने वो बोला कि स्किल्स आपकी जो अभी बिजनेसली सर भी बोल के गए, जो एटीट्यूड आपका होना चाहिए टुवर्ड्स द इंडस्ट्री, कि आपको जाना कहाँ है, आपको एग्जैक्टली पता होना चाहिए। अगर फाइनल स्टूडेंट्स हैं तो उनको एग्जैक्टली पता होना चाहिए कि टूरिज्म में बहुत सारे स्ट्रीम्स हैं, आपको लॉजिस्टिक्स में जाना है, आपको एयरलाइंस में जाना है, आपको टूर पैकेजेस में जाना है, सेल्स में जाना है। तो यू हैव टू क्लियर बाय द एंड ऑफ दैट द सेमेस्टर कि हमको जाना है किस फील्ड में। तो उस माइंड सेट से हमको उसकी प्रिपरेशन करना चाहिए और उसके लिए तैयार रहना चाहिए। डिफ़िकल्टी तो हर चीज़ में आती है, अप एंड डाउन्स हर चीज़ में आता है। कोरोना से भी हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं उसको कोप अप कर रहा है और रिवेंज टूरिज्म हो रहा है। अब तो टूरिज्म और ज़्यादा ग्रो कर रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि मोदी जी सबसे बड़े हमारे ब्रांड एम्बेसडर है टूरिज्म के, तो हमको तो कोई चिंता की बात नहीं है। और हम उधर बैठे लोगों को, स्टूडेंट्स को लगता होगा कि यार बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं यहाँ पर आके जो भी मेंटर्स हैं, लेकिन मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि हम भी आपकी जगह कहीं ना कहीं थे उस समय, लेकिन हमने वो कंटिन्यू रखा टूरिज्म की स्पिरिट, क्योंकि है इसमें आप थोड़ा सा मगर आपको एफर्ट डालना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा सा एक्सपीरियंस लेना पड़ेगा, ये बोलना चाहूँगा। थैंक यू।
Yes, and in fact, Vikas was not there when we were students there. So there was no people like us also sitting here and sharing their stories and experiences. So that was also one advantage that you have now. Sir, Suyas sir, every company has their own product life cycle or growth life cycle. जैसे कि start हुआ है, growth हो गया, maturity or decline. So from the start, you have started a company and your company is starting to get revenue. How do you escalate it? कैसे कर सकते हैं in this maybe with your experiences, or you have seen some companies, how do they expand, grow? कैसे manage कर सकते हैं also? So how do we grow?
सर, टू ग्रो मेरा सजेशन ये रहेगा आप सबके लिए कि ऑलवेज कीप ऑन इवॉल्विंग, नेवर बी स्टैग्नेंट। आप एक ही प्रोडक्ट पे मत अटके रहिए। यू शुड नो व्हाट योर कस्टमर्स वांट, व्हाट योर क्लाइंट्स वांट, एंड हाउ कैन यू डू दैट। बी इन टच विद योर क्लाइंट्स इवन आफ्टर यू हैव प्रोवाइडेड योर सर्विसेज टू देम। They will tell you, the market will tell you what do you need to do. And you should always think of new products, new services which you can give to your clients. In this way, you will keep on growing, keep on evolving. You will generate more and more revenue. Because let's say, for example, I'll again give an example of a heritage walk because that's how I started. So I had designed 3 circuits of heritage walks in Bhopal, the city where I'm from. But I used to work only on those 3 circuits in the beginning. eventually people, they started complaining that you are doing the same thing again and again. We want something new. So I went into the field again with my team. I started researching. I started asking people. I started doing surveys what they want, so that my company can grow and we can give better services to our clients. And after that, we came with various new products and new services. That's how I could keep my company running, and that's how I could keep my team with me. That's how I could keep my clients with me. And one very important thing talking about clients is you should always have recurring clients. If a client comes to you once and does not come back to you, that means your company is not growing. You are not evolving. If a client takes service from you and then he recommends you to other people and then he again comes back to you for your services, then you know that your company is growing. So always keep on researching and keep on evolving.
Yes, certainly we have to keep on evolving. Mr. Ladenlung, a lot of our education system, even sir was telling that prominent education institutions, they run their programs with case studies. IIM Ahmedabad, if you see their learning, there is mostly related to real life practical instances, case studies. Why are we not, is it important first of all that tourism education, we have to build in case studies in every subject? And how important is that, sir?
Yes, case study is very much important in whatever field that we study, because case study, it gives us a clear picture of what are the things that has been done, that what are the challenges that is there, and what are we anticipate such challenge, and how we can solve those problems. So yes, case study is the best options, and even in our classroom also, whenever we take class, so we always at least once a week, because in our university we don't have exams. So we what we have, it's actually we have this CFE, which is a continuous formative evaluation. So in each and like in once a week or once in 2 week, we always take we all whenever we go to class, we always take a case where the students, they brainstorm, they come up with the suggestions, or they come up with recommendation how to solve such cases. So through this, it will help them in the future in case if they start up their own venture, so how to overcome such problems.
Yes, case studies play a very important role, and we have to incorporate that. Harshita, your concluding remarks. Now, you are here sitting with a professor, sitting with industry persons. How has this platform been? Is it encouraging enough? Has it given you the motivation to do something new and to be challenging?
Sir, thank you again for coming to me. Sir, actually, I'm very much thankful to DTOR for setting up this platform where this is bridging up the gap between the industry people and we student, because we are looking continuously for the opportunities, and this is the platform that you're giving us where we can network with the industry people, the dignitaries that have come over here, and this is giving me a lot of opportunities where I can, have our ideas, we can share, we can have that kind of a thing. Like if we don't have ideas, then how can we, formulate them? How to have those kind of experiences? So I'm much thankful to DTR for this. So yes, sir.
Thank you. Can we give a round of applause to Harshita for her wonderful? Yes. To the members from the industry, the same question to both of you. How important is entrepreneurship for our industry? And how do we grow? How can entrepreneurship go in about?
एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। मैं तो बोलता हूँ कि जॉब डेफिनेटली अपनी जगह एक एक्सपीरियंस लेकर, मैं तो चाहूँगा कि हर बच्चा यहाँ पर जो बैठा है टूरिज़्म अगर आगे बढ़ाना चाहता है तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में डेफिनेटली आना चाहिए उन्हें, क्योंकि आप अपना डिसीज़न ले सकते हैं, नए थॉट्स। आप यंग जनरेशन है तो बहुत सारे यंग थॉट्स, कभी कभी कंपनीज, कॉर्पोरेट कंपनीज में होता है कि हम रिस्ट्रिक्ट हो जाते हैं, आप रिस्ट्रिक्टेड हो जाते हैं, सॉरी, कुछ चीज़ों के लिए, पॉलिसीज़ के लिए। तो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में आप नए एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं, ग्रो कर सकते हैं। तो डेफिनेटली मेरे तरफ से तो मैं बोलूँगा, मैं खुद भी एंटरप्रेन्योर हूँ, नया एंटरप्रेन्योर हूँ, फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर हूँ। तो मैं चाहूँगा कि जो भी स्टूडेंट हैं यहाँ पर, जो मेरा भी एक्सपीरियंस अगर मैं बात करूँ तो 16+ कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस है, इसके बाद मैं एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में आया हूँ। तो मैं मगर चाहूँगा कि एक्सपीरियंस लेके आप डेफिनेटली आइए, और नए इनोवेशन, नए स्किल्स डेवलप करके आप कुछ नया अगर आप सोसाइटी को देते हैं तो वेल एंड गुड है. थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir. Sir, same question to you also.
ओके सो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप ऑफ कोर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसीलिए हम लोग आज यहाँ आपके सामने बैठे हुए हैं. इसका एक जो सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस मुझे लगता है कि इट नॉट ओनली ब्रिंग्स न्यू थिंग्स ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म, ये आपको खुद को इवॉल्व होने में हेल्प करता है. इट क्रिएट्स योर ओन पर्सनैलिटी. आप uh, मैंने कभी भी कॉर्पोरेट में काम नहीं किया, मैंने इसके पहले कोई जॉब नहीं किया, मैं डायरेक्ट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में आया हूँ. बट आई हैव सीन माय फ्रेंड्स हु आर इन कॉर्पोरेट्स, एंड कहीं ना कहीं कॉर्पोरेट में रह के आप रिस्ट्रिक्टेड होते हो. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में आपके पास एक फ्रीडम है. आपके जो थॉट प्रोसेस हैं, आप जो चीज़ें करना चाहते हो वो करने से आपको कोई रोक नहीं सकता. लेकिन वो करने में क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं और उनको आप कैसे फेस करोगे, ये आपका एक कैरेक्टर बिल्ड करते हैं, ये आपकी पर्सनैलिटी बिल्ड करते हैं. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, एज एवरीवन नोज, आप जब कोई बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, कोई एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कर रहे हैं, सो यू आर क्रिएटिंग जॉब्स, यू आर क्रिएटिंग रेवेन्यू, एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो थैंक यू.
Thank you, Mr. Samir and Mr. Suyash. Can we give a round of applause to Mr. Samir and Mr. Suyash? To Mr. Ladenlang, sir, I think a lot of our students will be looking for placements also in their final year of their course, and it's sometimes very difficult for us to get into touch with companies, and sometimes their packages are low. But I think there will also be in every batch one or two students who will have some idea, some spark. I will try something. Let me start some company. What can we do as teachers to just push them? Try karo yaar. I think there is one innovation center here. So can we establish that? Is it important, or how do faculty members give a push for people to start, for students to start up companies?
Yeah, thank you for the questions. Actually, going back to that example that I have shared with you before, that Center for Incubation. So like going back to that example is actually, if we see any students who have that capable, right? So we don't leave them. So we always guide them to develop a kind of a proposal, and that proposal we submit to the government through that prime, and then the governments will actually look into it. If they found it is a very feasible project or feasible that can bring a kind of that there is a long term for the growth of that particular ideas, then the governments will take its own course.
Yes, certainly. I think it's important that we as institutions have innovation centers, incubation centers, so that we foster a culture of entrepreneurship for our students. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Ladenlang, Assistant Professor Martin Luther Christian University, Shillong. Just to sum up the outcome of the panel discussion, so we have certainly experienced that entrepreneurship is the need of the hour, and especially for students, I must say, more so for those who are pursuing their masters. And we have to create an mindset of entrepreneurship, and this dynamic session has certainly helped us to see how innovation, how creativity and customer centricity are important for especially a country like India, which offers unique and authentic experiences. So we must build about unique and authentic experiences. And as I already told, we cannot have experiential tourism. We certainly we can make every tourism experience experiential. That is important. We make every experience that a tourist has memorable, engaging and immersive. So with this, we will conclude this panel discussion. Thank you very much.